look, you own a salvage business and you're window shopping on Facebook Marketplace, and you just so happen to find a crashed twin turbocharged Audi R8, and you say to yourself, you know, I own a salvage business. Why don't I just turn this into a go-kart? And that's exactly what my buddy Lee did. He grabbed this 1,500 wheel horsepower twin turbocharged R8 and turned it into his very own personal go-kart. And not only that, he's already road tripped it 1,200 miles. So he was kind enough to stop by and let me take it for a rip. And to be honest with you, I was kind of nervous for this one. So let's tell you the story of how this came to be, and let me give you a ride in Lee's incredible creation. Hi everybody, Lee, what the heck are we in right now?
It is kind of an R8?
It was an R8.
Yes, it was an R8. That's the best way to describe it.
The VIN number's still an R8.
It is. An R8 GT, in fact.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, twin turbo R8, go-kart thing, salvage thing.
He said it best.
That's right. So Lee, can you just give a quick Spark Notes backstory of the car and what you're all about as well?
Yes, so I'll give the 30-second, the quick deal here. It is a underground racing built R8. It makes 1,500 to 1,600 horsepower on the highest setting. It's 1,000 to 1,100 today on pump gas. It's an old build, 2014, 2015, something like that. It got passed around. Underground originally built it as kind of like their Halo car back then. And
sure.
After it got sold, passed around a little bit, a guy out in Oklahoma bought it from a dealership in Dallas, had it 4 days and put it in the ditch, wrecked it. It was done.
God.
We found it on Facebook Marketplace. I flew out to look at it, got to the guy's house at like 2 in the morning. We had to pull start it with a skid steer. It worked. Everything sounded good. Hopped back on a plane, sent one of my business partners out the next day, a couple days later. Everything in front of the suspension points was fine. We only had to replace the tie rod, so we got to hacking, got everything bad off of it, and had our fabricator friend Josh, JCH Weld Fab, do all this pipe work to it, and started it up, and have been driving it ever since.
It's funny, when we met today, I was laughing because the last time I drove a car without...
David, your car's here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you're good.
Doors on it was a limo, and it was the worst experience ever. But this, I really like your fabricated doors that you had.
Yeah,
like it's just like a cotter pin setup, basically.
It does something, yeah, exactly.
It does something.
It's
well, I mean, even having this is even the false sense of security. You know what I mean?
False, but it is a sense. You're right.
Right.
Exactly.
It's a lot more enjoyable to drive knowing you have something here.
Yes.
Because look, I get the whole Safari Jeep thing, but that gets old after like 30 minutes, you know, to me anyway.
Yeah.
When you emailed me, I was so happy to see that you still had your windshield. I was like, am I gonna have to wear a helmet today, like an Ariel Atom or something like that?
No helmets, no helmets.
I feel like you've met in the middle very well with keeping the panels off, but also having the usability to drive at long distances.
Yeah, exactly, which I am currently doing right now, as you know.
Because
Yes.
you went down to 2K.
That, we trailered it to 2K.
Okay.
So we didn't drive it to 2K, but we just got back from that, unloaded it out of the trailer, drove from Maryland to Charlotte to Atlanta. Then we're gonna be in Chattanooga and then head back to Maryland. So like 1,200 miles-ish.
So you own a salvage part business, correct?
Yes, for exotic sports cars, LS Coyote, some Japanese import, that type of stuff. Leasing Parts.
How can people find you?
LeasingParts.com, Leasing Parts on Instagram, YouTube Scrap Life Garage, Instagram Scrap Life Garage.
I'm sure the difference between either Ignite or E85 and pump is just so ridiculous.
So again, this is an older build, so it uses VP import.
Okay.
Which, you know, the $40 a gallon stuff, you know, yay. It is a much different car. It is, and I'll let you give your unbiased opinion on. I don't want to ruin
Sure.
it, but it is very mild mannered. That's all I'll say.
Look, you're gonna have a ton of wind. You're gonna have all this other element
Yes.
distracting you. At the same time, you're on Toyota 888Rs, which is fantastic. It's a great tire,
Yep.
and they're perfectly balanced. It's not like you have some weird off balance, like slick in the back and a street tire up front.
Yes.
The good thing about the twin turbo R8s or twin turbo exotics in general is their chassis are so good to begin with that they're so stable.
Yep.
I think a lot of people, when they go for rides in these, they're expecting the super violent experience, but I'm not saying it's not. But it's so buttery smooth, you can just enjoy it. It's not like a super scary experience.
100%, and that is not lost even in a cart like this.
No.
I think the fastest we've had it, 187, something like that, at a roll race event. It does not do anything weird.
We were talking about how this is an E-Gear car and how substantially better the E-Gear systems got better later in the R8 and Lambo's life. So this has a real big pause in between shifts.
Yeah.
And you were pointing out that in between shifts, when you get people ride-alongs, they have that big
Yes, it's
jolt.
the forward, then back, yeah.
And what's funny about that now is it's almost harder to film the fast exotic cars now because they've gotten so refined that people just can't get that sense of speed.
The DCTs are so good in these cars. I have a little DCT envy, I'm not gonna lie. But it's fun driving this, and you know, we had to work with what we got. So
how do people feel when they see this thing? Like, do they have a hard time figuring out what it is or anything like that?
So on this trip, it is by far the most amount of attention the car's ever got. A surprising number of people know it's an R8. The roof line gives it away, the motor in the back gives it away. Some people say Audi TT.
Sure.
And then there's obviously people that have absolutely no clue, which, you know, can't blame them.
No.
And there's those brakes.
Ceramics. Even though you've owned an exotic, you can say that.
Exotic, yes.
Has the experience been what you always dreamed of?
I mean, obviously not, right? Like, this is, I mean, go on.
It was rhetorical, but I love your
yeah.
answer. I mean, maybe.
Gets more attention than any other exotic would.
Sure.
Which is I guess a good and a bad thing. I'm not necessarily someone who seeks that out.
Right.
But
it's involuntary at this point.
But it's as fast as an exotic, and I am driving a twin turbo R8 at significantly less than.
Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
The brakes are hilarious.
Yes. You can't not smile, right?
I know. That's insane. Well, like you said, no traction control.
Yep.
But on the lighter note, we heated up the rears.
Yep.
So
one time's all it takes in this car. Sunny day.
hey, there's a bike behind us.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to ask me for permission. See, this car has that effect on people.
Yeah.
They don't want to race; they just want to show up.
Oh my God, my guy.
So that was 2-3, right?
Yep, 2-3. That's a magic one.
Yes.
That is phenomenal.
That made my stomach turn. That's cool.
It squats so hard.
It does.
Like, it feels almost rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. But it's controllable, right?
Right.
Like,
It is.
It's more like I'm having fun rather than, oh God,
Yes.
you know. Another thing is the Precision 76s, they spool up very fast.
They do.
You'd think there'd be a lot of lag, but there's not that much lag. God, that E-Gear's no joke,
Yep.
dude. You weren't kidding.
It feels even cooler in the passenger
Oh, yeah.
seat. It really does.
Big hooks.
It does.
Dead
It does.
hooked. I can't believe this is a cart. Like, it feels like a car. Like,
That's what I tell everybody.
yeah.
The
Like,
wor- here.
all my fears of today are gone.
Good.
All of them.
Good.
And not saying you can't take it seriously. You have to.
Of course.
Dude.
It does not get old. It really
Never.
doesn't.
Never, ever, ever.
So if you have a clean piece of road with how warm the tires are at this point, you do a 1-2.
Okay.
It'll hook and it'll feel ridiculous. Go for it.
Top of third is so amazing.
I'm surprised it spun a little bit when it went in second. Like, sometimes it will dead hook and it's like you get rear-ended at 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know. Well, even when it spun, it still felt awesome.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, these cars spin straight.
Yes.
You know, it's not like you have to modulate and you just let off for a second, give it a second, go back in.
Yes. Gave it a little pull leaving Caffeine and Octane yesterday. There happened to be a cop at a light. He didn't get me.
That's good.
I've been paced a couple times.
Okay.
And Nobody does anything, yeah.
Thank you for my out-of-body experience.
Absolutely.
Amazing. All right, one more time. How can people find you, Lee?
Scrap Life Garage Instagram, Scrap Life Garage on YouTube, Leasy Parts Instagram, leasyparts.com.
Awesome. Once again, thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you dropping by. He's a super cool dude. Make sure to follow all his stuff. The build's amazing. It's not junk quality. A lot of these kind of carts end up being a little sketchy.
Unfortunately.
I feel 100% safe in this thing.
Good.
As safe as you can be.
Yes.
But on that note, I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. See you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
I'd get to that eye appointment like 5 minutes to 10 minutes faster.
So it's rare that I get to see this thing from the outside, especially driving.
Yeah.
Up, and wow, now I get it. I get why people act the way they do.
Of course.